Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast, and day 2 of our coverage of Star Wars Celebration. I am your host, Alberto Calderon. Over there is our co-host, Oti. I forgot to mention his new lighting back there.
My new
great.
lighting.
It was red yesterday, it's blue today. Going through the whole spectrum of Star
it's
Wars.
just constantly changing. I think yesterday I forgot to turn on the color changing, but today
it's turning right now. You're like the lightsaber in the Acolyte, just changing throughout, depending of your mood or what we talk about today. But
and if it's distracting, I can just set it to like a.
Nah, it's fine.
It's cool.
I mean, it's fine for me. I'll let you know. I used to have a lightsaber light. It's out there. It's blue. I used to have on my background. I think it burned my actual Count Dooku lightsaber because now there's a gap like this wide. It doesn't turn. It's red, then white, and then red again because it was right behind that blue light. I think it messed it up. So I took it out against the light, and now it's not in the show, which I know they don't care about.
Before we continue, did you watch Doctor Who?
No, I'm honest. I thought it was coming out tonight.
Okay.
9, right?
Okay. No, I think it's at 12 Eastern.
I had no idea. I thought I waited till 9 last week, so I didn't know. I know people are talking about it. Maybe people from London or Europe.
I think it drops at the same time, but this time around they're dropping it, so it's like Saturday morning in the UK, so they can still have their Saturday morning cartoon.
I love it. Yeah, I know it's early over there, that Saturday morning feel. That means after we finish here today, I'm gonna go watch it because I got Star Wars Celebration, then Doctor Who. I gotta wait till tomorrow. I'll watch it before, and I'll be happy.
I liked it. A lot.
All right. I heard someone posted, someone that I don't follow, like some retweet saying this is one of their favorite recent Doctor Who episodes. So
it gets trippy. I think we'll talk to them.
All right, we'll see. All right, well, thanks to everyone that's out there who's joining us today, either live or watching later on the replay or whenever. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes, especially tomorrow when we do our final recap of Star Wars Celebration. Comment down below anything you want us to talk about, just your comments in general about what has been revealed so far. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, when this drops later, thank you as always. 5-star, 4-star, 3-star ratings. We'll take it. Just leave some comments. We'll make fun of you if it's a bad one. I will praise you if it's a good one. All right. With that, before who's out there? I see a couple of comments.
Oh, Brennan. Brennan's in the chat.
Brennan, I thank you so much.
Another gentleman.
Thank you for always being here, bringing a smile to our face no matter the day.
Yep.
It's a great day to be a
Star Wars fan. Yep.
All right, Oti, if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars news. All right, Oti, did you take notes again yesterday? You got your notes ready?
Dude, I took a shit ton of notes.
Your fancy notes, pen and paper, too good for you?
Oh, okay, no. I'm sorry. You took me into a story. I need to write everything down. So at work, I'm not gonna take them out. I used notebooks, but like I had like 8 different notebooks, which is not efficient. So I found out about these, and it has changed my life.
So I like that paperweight or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the Kindle thing.
Okay, I've seen
it. You can write on it. It's way too expensive for what it is, but it has honestly helped me a lot. So
I've thought about there's people at work that have it or something similar, and I've thought about getting it. Same as you, I have my drawer. One of my drawers at work is my old notebooks of all the meetings. Like I don't really go back to them that often, but I get you. I hear you when you say that you have too many notebooks. 100%. I do have a lot.
These are just a few.
Yeah, that's too much. I used to print out the show notes for this show when I started, so I got a huge folder for the first 3 seasons of show notes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Now it's just in the computer, taking up space. So yeah, Oti, I want to say before we start with day 2, because there was something you mentioned yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to talk about it when I had to walk out of the episode for a couple of minutes. It was talking about how Star Wars Celebration is not a one-day event. It's like 3 full days and how much goes into it.
Mhm.
And me thinking about it, it's like 3 days. Each day is like from 6 to 8 hours of panels, interviews, fan cosplay stuff, uh, author, autographs, pictures. It's like a full-on long weekend. When you think about it, sometimes as fans, they didn't have a live stream or they didn't have this or that. No one else does something like Star Wars Celebration. Even San Diego Comic Con, Marvel, they do 2 hours and that's it. And again, that's a lot of things they have to do. But to put on a show every 2 years, used to be yearly, now every 2 years, 3 days, I don't know, 3 by 8, three times 8. I don't want to do math now, but like 24 hours of content. Content, I know it's not the right word that people hate when you throw it out there, but
No, but it is like they somehow managed to keep the people there entertained, and the people who were not able to go there entertained enough and interested enough to want to go next time.
yeah.
And I got very upset this morning as I was having breakfast. I was reading some people commenting on, like, if you're not able to sleep, just go into the Star Wars Celebration live feed. There's nothing going on. It's super boring. And I was like, okay, like they're like, there's nothing relevant there for anyone. And I'm like, I'm sorry you don't care about ILM 50-year anniversary book. I'm sorry you don't care about a Doc Sheehan panel. I'm sorry you don't care about Lego revealed the Galaxy 2. Like, I don't care about that. But still, it's fun, and people there are enjoying it. And maybe you're just salty you're not there. Maybe you're just salty that you're a 40-year-old man living at your parents' house, maybe. And
You almost got me there, but all right.
No,
I moved out of my parents' house already.
you live in your family's house.
Yeah.
You know your place there.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, I was like, if you can't enjoy it, that's fine. Maybe don't watch it. You don't have to sit down and watch 9 hours of Star Wars Celebration. I'm gonna be upset about it.
But it's I'm in awe. It's something that would, again, goes to, if you hate Lucasfilm or Disney Star Wars or whatever, it's a monumental feat that they're able to do this without a hitch. That live stream hasn't cut, hasn't been bogged down. It's been straight on excellent. Finding things to do, even if you're bored, finding stuff to fill out 8.5 hours takes a lot. And to do it 3 straight days, bringing out people, and the people there that do a hour panel and then come to the live stage and talk for 20-30 minutes, that dedication that they also put to that, you gotta give it up, even if you don't care about the Lego stuff, just to say one thing. But that's Ahmed Best and
Ashley Eckstein
coming together to talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to respect that at some level.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be awesome if. And that's something about Star Wars Celebration. It's usually very front loaded. All the announcements really happen like immediately, first panel, and that's it. The rest of the thing is literally just a party, a Star Wars party. So it has never been this thing of just announcement after announcement after announcement. And I was looking specifically like at the timeline of Star Wars Celebration. We had like 7 Star Wars celebrations in between the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy. It was just a convention. No announcements. No, I mean, you probably had video game announcements and things, but there was like no big push. It was just people getting together and celebrating Star Wars. And if they were lucky, they would get Force Unleashed 2 trailer. So
yeah, dude, and it's, I don't know. I understand why people sometimes complain. It's just whatever. I don't see it. Even if everything that they announce is stuff that I don't like, there's a level that I have to respect what they're doing and be happy for the people out there that are enjoying it, because not everyone gets to go to the panels. And that's something that we sometimes forget. Not everyone is going to every single panel. They didn't get in. So they're out there in the live stage for 5 hours or whatever, having fun there, seeing all the interviews. And when they go out to the fans to interview them, to see where they're coming from, their Star Wars journey, there's parents with their kids, there are people, someone I saw yesterday or the day before, they were 13 when A New Hope came out, and 50 years later, they're in a Star Wars celebration in Japan. Who would have thought that? So be happy for them.
Yeah, Buck is screaming. He's saying like, also the live stream
Really?
is free. Like, yeah, that's the whole other thing. Like,
All right.
they are giving you 8. Again, last night was almost 9 hours. They gave you 9 hours of free content, and you
Yeah.
did not have to move from your couch. It's literally called CouchCon. It's a movement. It's a growing community.
It's the best. It's the best. You gotta love all the CouchCon. All right, so let's get into it. Star Wars Celebration, Day 2. Like you said, Day 1, if you want to say, was a little bit front-loaded. This was the TV day, basically. Andor and Ahsoka was a little bit afraid for that same thing. That, yeah, they'll talk about Andor. They won't get a lot of new things that they'll kind of reveal. Ahsoka, same thing. But we got a lot. I think we got a lot of great information. And we'll get to the interviews. But I thought all the interviews with the cast member from Andor in the live stage, I think have been some of my favorites. That Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk 10-minute interview was one of the best things. And then you get Adria Arjona with Tony Gilroy. It's another excellent one. The first one with Denise Gao and Cyril Connor, Cal Solar, all great interviews. But let's go. And again, the live stream went on like 20 minutes after the Andor panel started, 15 minutes. Here you go. Just going. You didn't get to be in Japan. Here you go. Watch it and shut the hell up.
It went out. It came and went so fast, specifically because a big chunk of the panel was the episode premiere, which of course we did not get to see. So that was like way shorter than I thought it would be. But so at least we got those interviews, which we got 3 batches of interviews, and they were great. Dude, Tony and I were obsessed with that moment where Alan Tudyk, when like someone screams, "I love you," and he's like, "I love you too," as you know. Answer my calls, you son of a bitch.
Dude, we mentioned, it was yesterday. I can't remember who we said that had some great. Pedro Pascal and Dave Filoni have a great relationship, but man, Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk, you can just listen to them talk for 2 hours. They're just the best.
Dude, and by the way, Denise and Kyle were giving away so much in their interview. I think they all were. Yeah. Tony Gilroy even told us what episode K2SO was showing.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
I was. It's something that I don't know if because it's the end or maybe we've pegged Tony Gilroy wrong. For season 1, that we always joke that he's kind of hiding out in a cave, doesn't want to do an interview, just leave me alone. And now he's like showing his shirt off to everyone, just revealing stuff.
I was talking to this with Tony. Of course, the whole Tony Gilroy is a character we've made up, very similar to Harrison Ford. Like Harrison Ford loves stepping on a stage and having everyone scream and freaking out. And Tony Gilroy, I think, is in the same vein. I think he is 100% a rock star, and he knows he's a rock star. He knows everyone there loves him, and he's having a blast. He might not care about lore and anything, but he's like, hey, I was a kid when Star Wars came out. It was amazing, and I get to do it now. And that's cool.
I also love when you get to see the people behind it. We fall in love with the characters that they play, but sometimes the actors are so far the other way. I noticed this, or kind of realized this yesterday with Pedro Pascal, which is just a goofball out there. But the picture in my mind was Joe from Last of Us, because I just saw it a couple of days earlier. It's a 180 of that guy. And Diego Luna, same thing with Cassian Andor. It's why they're such great actors, but you love them as regular people because they're just great.
And Alan Tudyk talk about that the fact that Diego Luna is a goofball, and then on set he has to be like this very serious person. And it's like, what's happening?
When they talked about it doesn't matter. We're just talking Andor in general. When they talk about the names on their trailers, and Diego Luna, my name was Carlos, right, the Mexican who's gonna be. Oh my gosh.
Because Alan Tudyk tells this like very heartfelt story about old pal, and then he's like, "Oh, come on!" And I got Carlos.
Who's the Mexican in Andor? No one's gonna figure that out.
By the way, were you trying to do like the panel and then the interviews? Were you going for that? No.
Here at first,
Yeah.
yes, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I tried. I disrupted it because I tried the same thing in the show. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
I'm doing you a favor.
Thank you. And everyone that's watching this, please go watch Epic Star Wars actual panel.
Learn some Spanish.
Learn some Spanish, and then come back. Well, you have to put both. You put your show with Tony in Spanish, this one in English next to each other. That's how you learn. We're probably going to be repeating a lot of the same thing, but that's how you learn. Put some captions on it, people.
I was going to mention something else. Oh, I wanted to say, like, and Alan Tudyk, apart from being hilarious, I love him, dude. He's such a team player, and he's such a class act. Think about the journey he's been on. He was cast in this show when it was a 5-season thing, and he was going to be there from the very beginning, be there for 5 seasons. And all of a sudden, plans change. You're not there in season 1. Also, you're coming in for the last 4 episodes of the show. That's all you get. And he's still there. And he talked about it. He said, like, it was very difficult for me, like, coming into something pre-established I was supposed to be, like, a part of from the beginning. But he's such a team player, and he's so gracious to the fans and Tony Gilroy and the story and everything. So, definitely a cool guy. Definitely a cool guy.
Because this is a character you could recast if needed. That's a droid at the end. I know the voice, I know the timing, but if needed, if he was really, you had me waiting for 5 years, something else came up, you could recast. But no, he's there. He said, just putting up the stilts again. Everything came up the same. Scuffs on the boots were still there. So, but anyway, more action, more drama, more adventure. The embargo for this drop, I'm trying not to read any of the reviews, but everyone's basically been saying it's a greatest thing ever, which is usually what happens in the first reviews when they come out. But it's good to at least that's out there. There's nothing negative at this point.
Not dissing at anyone. They all felt like the same review.
Yeah.
They all started.
Now that I can talk about it.
Watch all 2 seasons. Okay, it's amazing. I believe you.
I know.
Not dissing anyone.
They'll probably get an email with when they get the screeners. Please start with this, and then some fill in the blanks, and then just put your adjective there, and then you go ahead. I mean, I'll do it. If they send me one, I'll do the same thing.
No, but I again, I'm just poking fun. I think it was genius. Hello, Dale. I think it was genius on their part to have like the first half of the day be all about Andor, have the panel, then have the interviews. Yeah. Everyone's talking about it, and then halfway through that, release the reviews, and then like for a couple hours, everything in Twitter was Andor. Yeah,
they released. I've been trying to stay away from all the TV spots, and everything has been kind of released since the last trailer. But I did watch the 2 minutes, a minute and a half special look that they released yesterday. So, something good, at least for us that are not there to watch the episode. At least we got a little behind the scene featurette. And nothing really new was revealed, but it's always cool to see those. We're going to Chandrila for the first time. I think it's the first time we're seeing that in live action for the big wedding. I know that Genevieve O'Reilly in the interview. Oh yeah, we're going to Chandrila. Something's happening. I got this gown, and Tony Gilroy going. It's a wedding. We're going to the wedding. It's like he doesn't care. It's like it's the wedding. We know it's happening. They're 15. Things are gonna be ready. So we're gonna finally see the wedding. He said it. Hashtag. What is it? Just forgot what I was gonna say. Perrin.
Oh,
justice for Perrin. He was saying that it's also interesting to see someone on his caliber say, "Man, they took Perrin the wrong way, so I'm trying to fix it now." It's not as evil.
Anyone out there, any freaks out there, go back to our freaking Andor reviews, and I probably said that I thought Perrin was misunderstood.
All right, we'll find it. We'll find it, but
I love that whole beat. Like, Tony was like, "No, Perrin has something to say, and you're gonna hear it."
But also, he went to the actor. Sorry, I don't know the name. And say, "Hey, sorry that this happened. I got you for next time." I think this happened when he was asked about all the great monologues from season 1. Are there new ones for season 2? Well, I'm sorry for Perrin. He got misunderstood. So justice for Perrin. We'll see if people change their mind. I doubt it, but Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, maybe he's like one of those CEOs who was all for Trump and now it's like, oh, he did everything he promised. No, I don't really like him anymore. Perrin gets to speak for himself and justify himself, says Buck. And yes, and you know what? Denise Gao said it best. Like, sometimes a fascist is just a fascist. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Man, that word was thrown out a little bit yesterday. Also, when
those interviews got very real.
They almost went over, and then let me not go that way. But I love when they said Dedra went from being a girl boss to being a full-on fascist. And like, I thought she was already a fascist, but it's good to know that it's going to be kind of highlighted more this time.
I was talking with Tony. It was something they mentioned in the panel, how they both have this thing that they're striving for, Dedra and Syril. But it's also the same thing pushing them down. For her, it's the Empire. For him, it's his mom. They both want to satisfy, and both people won't let them be satisfied ever. And I was telling Tony, like, it sucks because could you imagine Dedra working for the rebellion and not having the thumb of the Empire over her and limiting her? Like, the sky's the limit with these people. But no, they choose to be evil and horrible.
And I think we're gonna find out why. That's something else that they mentioned. We're gonna find out where she came from and why she's the way that she is. So I don't wanna. I think that she said something about her father, but I can't remember if that's true or not. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see that dynamic. Going back to Perrin real quick, and again, just getting these three on the screen at the same time is gonna be awesome. With Luthen and Rel also joining, I guess, the wedding. That looks like the wedding, but who knows? Perrin, I understand when it comes from his father side, being a parent, when he's kind of always taking his daughter's side in the terms that Mon Mothma is always working. She's not at home. He's the one that needs to take care of the daughter. Good or bad, or maybe just giving her everything that she needs. It's not the best way, giving her too much leeway. But I understand on that sense where he's the present parent. He's the one that's there when Mon Mothma is not. He's not the best husband. Like, hey, have my back. You have something else to add, or thanks for the support. So on that end, I understand why people hate him so much. But I think he's misunderstood in that he has a point, and hopefully we'll be able to, like they said, he'll use his voice, and we'll see what he needs to say.
I think it's coming back to me because I think that was maybe the line I was in. Like, he's not a great husband, but maybe she's not a great wife, and we literally don't know that. Because everything we've seen from Perrin is from her point of view, and maybe she sees this version of him.
Yeah.
But like, and Tony Gilroy said, like, they did fall in love at some point, and we're gonna see that again throughout. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So Mon Mothma working under the eye of the Empire. She needs to come out of the shadows and get to that point in Rebels when she openly defies the Emperor. We're gonna see that as it kind of builds. And yeah, here's my notes about Dedra. We'll get Dedra's background, where she comes from, and why she's how she is, going from a girl boss to a full-on fascist. And I can't believe, because it was a joke that we had here, and everyone had about, will not get together between these two, Dedra and Syril. We knew that Syril was infatuated from the moment he met Dedra. But they full on went into talking about it as a relationship. I'm surprised that they acknowledge what the fans were saying. But it kind of builds that relationship, and that Syril is trying to flex on Dedra is what they said. So I'm interested to see where this goes, because I thought it was just a fan thing that we were just having fun with it. No, it's going to be part of the show.
I thought it was definitely something the show was leaning into. But I was shocked. They were like, no, they live together. They live together.
There's a dinner party with Mama Karn.
with Edie Karn. And I'm like, I need to see that right now. Like, I need to see it. And Tony was like, and don't worry, you'll get it early on in the show.
Again, this threw me. It was a curveball. I didn't expect this. When they mentioned, I have it in question mark, dinner scenes with Dedra, Syril, and Edie Karn. Are they living together? Are they a couple? Was she coming in for an informal talk or something? Hey, meet my mom. and she kind of just surprised about it, which is it's funny. It's not very Andor-like, but it will be real funny.
Dinner party from hell.
Oh yeah. Saying that the relationship is funky weird. So, all right.
Crazy shit.
And then we already knew that we're gonna see how K2 becomes K2 in terms of working with Cassian and the K2SO that we know. They kind of talked a lot about the birth of K2. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's. I don't know. Seems like it's not just turning a switch. Not sure if this is
emo.
If this is the V2 emo. So you're gonna die on that hill.
More than anything, I want it. I want that to be the thing. We'll see.
All right, I'm not there, but we'll see.
You see Alan Tudyk talk about a deleted scene from Rogue One.
Dude, that was so great. Yeah. Kind of, and he says something that didn't even make it to the movie, but kind of creates this character as it goes on.
Yeah.
For the people out there that maybe didn't see it, can you kind of...
Yeah, no, he talks about this scene in the script that they didn't even shoot, where they're off a mission and a rebel officer tells K2, droid, pick that up. And he looks at it, he's like, no, and leaves. But he talks about, like, if Cassian had asked him to, he would have said yes. And for him, that was, like, the whole thing about that character. And that was fascinating. And it's going to be fascinating to see in the show.
Yeah, that relationship. I'm just going to highlight this comment from Buck real quick, that he's reading Mastosphere. Yep. It's about 100 pages in. And it shows that it's not easy or safe to be married to Mon Mothma 100%. And there's something that happens in their apartment. And Perrin acts the way you think a husband would. Even Mon Mothma, when that happens, is worse Perrin what happens. So there's something there, or at least at the beginning.
Perrin. Oh, rooting for you, boy. Anyway. We're rooting for you.
I don't know. I don't want to go that far, but I think
do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Yeah. Just take a bullet for her, or a blaster bolt.
Dude, if Perrin dies, helping Mothma escape and do her grand speech,
yeah,
I'll be in tears.
You imagine redemption for Perrin out of left field. Forget about Syril joining the rebellion. Give me a Perrin redemption.
I think Perrin redemption is more likely than Syril redemption, and I think we're getting both. That's
okay. I'm open to anything right now. We also talked already about that great dynamic between Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk. It was one of my favorite interviews so far from both days. Just the love that they have, not just for one another, but for the characters that they play, like you mentioned with Alan Tudyk and K2, and just having that switch. But what Cassian means to Diego Luna, shooting during COVID, being away from his family, and then that group, the actors, the writers, everyone there, directors, became his family, which in turn goes into the show, and how all the characters become Andor's family by the end of it, and that this is something that's going to go with him for the rest of his life. So that's great to hear that. So yeah, can't wait for Andor Season 2 coming out in 2 days now or 3 days. K2 in episode 8 was a big surprise. And that Adria Arjona took the boots, Big Sis boots. So if you see her around, there's Star Wars boots walking around the world right now. So
I have beef with Adria Arjona. I had beef with her. She's like, I took the boots. I wear them. I wear them every day. I wear them every time I get the chance. No, you don't. Don't you? No, you don't, Adria Arjona. No, you don't. Why weren't you wearing them there?
She didn't have them. Didn't have them.
Like, if you were gonna wear them somewhere, it would be Star Wars Celebration. Why weren't you wearing them? I'm calling your. I'm joking.
I'm calling your bullshit on it. Yeah.
Frame them.
Frame. I don't know. Can you frame boots? I would wear them also.
You can frame anything, dude. Trust me.
Yeah. Let me see. Poor Genevieve O'Reilly didn't take anything. She didn't know she could take stuff. So she's like, really? I could take stuff. But yeah, it's coming out on Tuesday. People got to see that first episode. I don't hate them for that because we're getting it so soon. And again, even the people that haven't seen the whole series, the ones that saw that first episode had very good things to say about it. But
I don't hate them for that because they paid hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to be there and waited on the line for hours to be on the panel. So I don't.
Yeah, it's a lot of dedication to go to something like that. So
yep.
I'm glad that you got it. I will be seeing it in a couple of days. So Andor season 2 comes out on Tuesday. 3 episodes. I already have 3 guests lined up, Oti. You know who's coming for a finale? Maggie Lovett will be here for a finale. I spoke with her yesterday.
You spoke with her yesterday? I mean, she was hanging out with Alan Tudyk and
I know. Luna. I felt bad. I wanted to wait till the end of Celebration, but then I said, you know what? It's coming so quickly, Andor, and it's only going to be 4 weeks. Let me reach out. She had posted something, and I said, let me just reach out to her to see. And 5 minutes later, yeah, no problem. I'll be there. This is great. Talking about the show. So she'll be here. We got to figure out dates for our friend Mo. Says she'll be here. And then
Mo.
Andres Alvarez from 60 Minutes will also be joining us. So we need one more. We're going to have the guys from A Certain Point Askew. It's not going to work for them, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe we'll ask Tony. Have Tony here for the first day for the premiere. So, okay. And then you gotta tell me because you say you might miss a couple of shows.
I'm missing the second week.
All right. So I'll see you. No, I'll get Tony for the second week. He'll replace you.
No, he'll be with me.
Mother crappers. These Puerto Ricans always messing up everything.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to Boston.
All right. I'll get him for that first week. I'll see if he comes first week. I'll get Andres and Mo for the second and third. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But anyone, people out there, again, subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss those great episodes. And May the 4th is coming, I think, for the second episode or third. So we'll talk about Tales of the Underworld, maybe. All right, before we jump to Ahsoka real quick, we mentioned it at the beginning, the Lego Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past. It was great just to get Ahmed Best out there first. He was just talking about his role in Star Wars away from Jar Jar Binks being Keller and Beck, the Jedi Challenges games, playing Keller and Beck in Mando, being the one that rescues Grogu. Now there's a Keller and Beck comic book. So it's a character that he created, now has kind of run the gamut of Star Wars. And then he brought out Ashley Eckstein with the little Ahsoka brickhead and revealed the Lego Rebuild the Past sequel. Did you ever watch the first one? I can't remember.
The Lego thing is I'm fine with.
Again, like we said before, it wasn't my cup of tea just because they're out there.
You told me it was pretty cool.
It was fine. I guess my expectations took over. I thought it was gonna be a what if. It will be different scenes in Star Wars as a what if. It's not. It's more basically a parallel universe, a multiverse stuff. So it's like, okay. So it was fine, but I didn't love it. Like, I can't wait for the next one. Maybe this one will be different. Probably not, but at least now I know where it's going. Okay. Sorry, I need a drink of water. Like I mentioned, I just help push a golf cart. So I'm tired. My almost 45-year-old bones are tired right now.
Oh, man.
Dude, don't tell me. I don't know how I've been awake so long this week. All right, so Ahsoka. We got the Ahsoka panel. They talked a lot about season 1. They went over casting Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka for the live action show, how it came from this fan casting. I think she mentioned was Jake Bartok that did a fan drawing of her as Ahsoka, how that somehow got to Dave Filoni, and then she was cast when the show came up, or for The Mandalorian first. That sounds like a myth, like a folklore story out there that in 20 years. Right.
I think it was Boss Logic.
Boss Logic, thanks. I had those two. One of those. But I think
they mentioned. I'm sorry. They mentioned Bartok in the publishing.
Yeah, he's doing now a bunch of the covers for the young, for the middle grade, some of the audiobooks. It's great to see people in the Star Wars fan community now get that exposure. He's great. I got one of his things out there, a drawing that he did for Mandalorian. But anyway, this story how Rosario Dawson got cast through a fan drawing, fan art. I think like in 20 years, someone's gonna mention it as this urban legend, in 2040 no one's gonna believe it, and some 70-year-old guy says, "Actually, I was there when it happened, and yes, it's true." Yeah, shut up, old man. This is the Loch Ness monster. So I don't know. I think in 20 years this is gonna be a myth that really happened, and we're gonna remember, but young people are not. So
I love
don't know.
how
It's fun.
I love how casual Dave Filoni was about it. He's like, yeah, I was scrolling Twitter one day and I saw it, and I was like, yeah, she would make a great Ahsoka. And then like a couple years later, I was like, well, I guess it's her turn.
Oh man, so it's a story that we've heard for years now. It's great to keep hearing it. They talk about George Lucas being on set when he was trying to shoot the Ahsoka versus the Magistrate fight, and he had like that one day to get that shot, and everyone just wants to hang out with George Lucas. The pressure of that, but
like, imagine directing a Star Wars and having George Lucas show up there. Like, no,
yeah, it's probably what you want, but also it's the biggest pressure in the universe.
Dude, I'm the kind of person that never wants to meet George Lucas. Like, I don't know how I would. That for me would be like the equivalent of meeting Jesus. Or something.
Dude, and in Holy Week, that's a big comparison. Is Holy Week is?
Hey, amen, brother, amen. So, shit, I was gonna mention something and I'm blanking on it. It had to do with Rosario and. Oh, I love to see how big of a fan Rosario Dawson is. Like,
yeah,
she always talks about how much she campaigned for the role and how much she wanted it, and like seeing her talk about Ahsoka, like she clearly understands the character. It's not just a gig for her.
Yeah.
So that's fun for me.
But I also love kind of going back now to some of the Andor panels or conversation. Also with nothing big. Also with Rosario Dawson, we talked about how Ryan Gosling is coming into this big, huge star, but he seemed a little bit reserved, just being in that spotlight in the Star Wars universe. And you see how people have been here for a few years, how they've grown. Like everyone from Andor, even Denise Gao and Cal Solo, just having so much fun out there with the fans that we know at some point Ryan Gosling will get there. And also Rosario Dawson being a huge fan and now being in the, I think, second or third celebration. She's out there just talking about this so openly, so they become part of it. And there were a lot. Always in celebration it happened. Everyone's saying this is for the fans. We're doing it for the fans, but it's always nice to get that recognition coming from them and the love they put into it. Yeah. Dave Filoni and Favreau talked a lot about exchanging toys. You can have this character, you can have that one. No, you can have Thrawn. It's not during that time, but I'll use Thrawn. You can have the Darksaber. So that's fun to have those when you're in Star Wars, and that's why I love Dave Filoni's role inside Lucasfilm. Is that person that knows everything and what works in what scenario. I might not love his stories always, but he's the one to go, hey, I'm doing a story in this time period. I want to use these characters. Does it make sense? He's the guy to go to it. So I love the little conversation between the two of them.
That whole thing, like he finally brought Ahsoka into a fold, and now gets her stuck in some other galaxy, so I can't use her.
Oh yeah, but in that same conversation, we're talking about that other galaxy. How then that expands Star Wars and what he can do in Star Wars. We now have the Dathomir witches out there. Maybe the witches came before the Jedi. They know the Force is a different religion. They hate the Jedi because of that. Let's play with that. Bro. And that's expanding Star Wars just because you have to create a different galaxy for it. But it makes sense that you can do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't mess.
That whole conversation of him was like the equivalent of a Star Wars lore blunt rotation.
Yeah.
I was like, go on, Dave Filoni. Talk to us about different guys. And I love that he was very funny.
Yeah.
And him talking about like, oh, what about why would you bring in another galaxy? And he's like, well, because Ezra's there.
I need to find a way to get him back.
And dude, that line when he's talking about Anakin, which I'm guessing you have like a big. No? Okay.
I'll be honest, I have nothing about
what? Anakin was like huge in that panel. And
dude, I've been awake for so long.
Whatever. Him talking about Anakin and him basically saying like, I created a whole new dimension just so I could work with Hayden Christensen.
So, okay, what I do remember is saying the Darth Vader story is told. Like, George Lucas told that story. I'm not going to add to it. There's nothing. But if I have this other galaxy and I can use him as a Force Ghost to tell Ahsoka's story, then yes, I'm going to use it in that sense. Yeah.
And him also being like, I also learned so much about Anakin with George that I wanted to use that information somehow. So,
Yeah.
and again, interesting.
I mean, again, Dave Filoni, in terms of building the universe and what makes sense, I think he's the perfect person. Like, everyone knows, he came out with George Lucas learning all that knowledge. He's the one that has that. And I love that now he has people to pass that around to help them then build whatever they're going to be working on.
There was this moment in the panel, I don't know if you caught it, where Hayden and Filoni are talking about them being the only people who have worked with George, and them meeting to talk about how working with George like worked, and is it like a support group or something? So, and though that's something that's been, I think, very present in this convention, like how important the legacy of George Lucas is to everyone there and everyone making Star Wars. Like, again, you want to think nobody cares, like they're just there to make money, sure, whatever, but like the respect and the admiration for this guy who started this thing is oozing out of every single panel. Like, he's mentioned always, and good reason. So yes, it's Disney. Yes, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, but there's also a lot of heart poured into it. So
I don't want to. It's some people are just gonna hate. That's why I hate when people say. I know I said it at some point in this stream. I said Disney Lucasfilm. I hate when people say Disney Lucasfilm. It's Lucasfilm. It's the same company. You don't like what's come now? Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. But no one has disrespected George Lucas since it was sold. Every time that there's an interview with creators, it's about how they want to honor what came before and what George Lucas did, and then of course put their own spin on it. But the love and the reverence that everyone that works on Star Wars has for George Lucas has always been evident. And I'm 100% agree with you. This weekend, it's been in the forefront, something that everyone has been mentioning. And Dave Filoni always gives props to George Lucas for everything that he's done. So yeah, it's there. If people want to just go against it, just to complain and be contrarian, that's fine. But it's not the reality.
Even a guy like Tony Gilroy, he didn't really talk about it this time around, but his interviews are like, hey, I was a Star Wars fan because I was a kid. I didn't go home and think about the Clone Wars and Obi-Wan and everything, but I admire George Lucas, and that's why I'm here, because I want to continue what he started. So.
It's great. Filming starts next week. I know that when I get into production, we're going to production. Don't worry about development. We're in production now. As soon as we finish Star Wars Celebration, we're heading into it. Did they say 2026? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing they did not say a date, but if they're starting shooting, if they're gonna start shooting next week, I think it'll be December.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, probably summer, maybe fall of 2026. Which is fine. We get the movie in the spring, early summer. Then you get Ahsoka as a continuation of it.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
And then we get Celebration 27 with news of the Filoni movie.
Well,
they are geniuses.
They know what they're doing. Give them time. They honored or they remembered the late great Ray Stevenson, what he brought to the character of Balon Skull. Great to see. Also heartbreaking as always, just losing someone so early. And then they confirmed Rory McCann as Balon Skull. He looks great. Needs a little bit more white in the beard, I think. We'll see when it comes out. He looks more evil than Ray Stevenson. But this is a great character, so I'm glad that they're not just gonna cut what's gonna happen. They just unfortunately had to recast, but I'm really excited to see where this story goes, and hopefully Rory can do it justice.
I was telling Tony, I like that he looks the part. He looks like an older, white, grizzled dude with very
Mhm.
physically imposing
Yeah.
body, but it's clearly not Ray Stevenson.
Mhm.
And they've really talked about casting this
Mhm.
character and how he basically wrote the character for Ray Stevenson. He had the idea for the character during the Clone Wars, and he saw Ray Stevenson working with him in that show and being like, you are the guy to do this.
Yeah.
And then having to recast it. And he talked about talking with Ray's family and basically being like, the only reason I'm doing this is because this character was super important to the story and he's supposed to work as a parallel to Ahsoka. So it's cool that he looks more evil now in this new version of the character, this regeneration. But I think it's going to work with the story, because if he's going deeper into this path and him looking more evil, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, he looks great. If this was the
No,
first image you saw
awesome.
either of the character or this just pops online, we'll crap our pants. It's like, oh, I can't wait. I can't imagine what this character is going to be. And we don't know where Balon Skull's story is going. He finished on top of that statue of the father that they talk about. Hey, there's a reason the sister statue is broken, so we're going to figure that out. So,
and yeah, for me, it was more like it took away any concern. Like I saw it, I was like, yes, he looks the part. Like I think he'll nail it. Mortis God's confirmed.
Mortis God's confirmed. I think they show some images, kind of, and I think there's a portal to like the pathway to it. So
what's happening? He said the father is back, the brother is back, whatever's left of the sister is back. I was like, oh,
dude, I know I wasn't the biggest fan of the last 2 episodes of Ahsoka, but the whole I enjoy them. I know, and I'm gonna say, if you go back to our episodes, you said the same thing. You hated on me for it, but I was very critical of the shows because I was overanalyzing them for some weird reason. But not the story, more the way it was shot and the way the camera moved. Things I never do. And like, so
of all people,
no, right? So my degree of moving all this, I did take one elective about it in 2003. But anyway. The show going up to episodes, we say 4, 5, and 6, some of the best Star Wars ever. And then 7, 8 for me kind of leveled out. It didn't keep going up. But I'm so excited for what's going to happen now because it's a new galaxy, a new universe. You can do whatever. You start bringing all the Mortis gods. And if you want to, anything weird with the Force, that's my jam. And it looks like we're going that way.
It's going to get weird, I think.
It's going to get weird, funky weird, like in Andor. And this is one of the things that someone's going to get weird with the Mortis gods and whatever else happens with the War Between Worlds. He comes back. It has to be Filoni.
He's the only one I would trust with going batshit insane with the Force.
Yeah. And then you get the opposite. The Naughty are back.
Yeah!
Your friends, the Naughty.
Did you see the Loathe kittens?
The Loth kittens are great. They roll because their legs are too short or too spindly. They can't walk.
Again, Filoni was very funny in the panel. He's like, well,
I gotta pay the bills.
We gotta pay for this somehow. So we gotta make cute animals.
I don't know if it's something for this celebration. Like everyone's looser. Like everyone's open. Kind of. They're not afraid to talk.
Good.
Yeah, I know. Finally. Yeah.
The world is changing. The world might be ending. Good.
We need levity. We need the fun of Star Wars and the silliness, and the Naughty are part of that silliness in Star Wars that we love so much. Akbar versus Thrawn. There's a big battle. Home One is coming back. Again, I'm surprised all the reveals we got for Ahsoka season 2 from Filoni of all people. Just whatever. All this is happening.
I literally wrote down Akbar versus Thrawn. What the?
Akbar versus Thrawn. Big battle. Mystery surrounding the statues of the father, son, and the daughter. Anakin is back. And there was a mock-up.
We knew that already. But
yeah, that's
good to learn it again.
And that they got a mock-up trailer for season 2. We just some old, so they didn't show a trailer.
Oh, like images.
Yeah, images that he had built with some older concept art or something to kind of show where the story is gonna progress. I thought we might get that, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. We just gotta look.
Have you seen any of them?
No. I haven't been online today. I went out with my family. We had to get away from the house and just go.
There's a Shinhari versus Huyang picture.
Oh, wow.
Huyang is in full General Grievous for like.
Oh wow! No, okay. I'll do that before I go watch.
I hope that's something that's actually in the show and not just concept art. Fingers crossed.
I mean, he has all the lightsabers. I'm sure he practices. He has all the the poses and stuff. Sorry.
Dave, when in the interviews, he said we're gonna get more Hera, more Ezra. Like he said, the show is still gonna be focused on Ahsoka, but it's gonna expand.
Yeah, the whole Rebels team is back. Seb is gonna be back in Ahsoka. Chopper's back. I guess Chopper gets a lot to do. He'll be murdering some people. Apparently, it's gonna be again 8 episodes. There seems to be a lot of story. So, but they're in 2 different galaxies or universe, so we'll get the Ahsoka part on one side and then the Hera and the Rebel stuff on the other side with Thrawn. So yeah, it's building up to be special. And again, I really enjoy season 1. Season 2 seems to be hitting all the right notes so far.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Yeah, when we start thinking, we just said we get the movie early in 2026. That's later we get Ahsoka and then the Filoni movie later on. It's like,
dude, hopefully it ends on a cliffhanger. It's like Ahsoka will return in Star Wars epic fight again. I don't know.
Hopefully they don't call it Star Wars Ahsoka.
The Empire restrikes back again.
Yeah, the Empire awakens the last Empire. All right, those were the 2 big panels that we got. Like we mentioned before, there were a bunch of interviews on the live stage. I enjoyed the Lydia Khan, Tessa Gratton, and Alisa Wong interview. I watched it this morning. Like we said yesterday, 2 of those 3 we've had a great chance to interview here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great to see, again, their love for Star Wars, their love for the High Republic. This is something that's going on now for almost 5 years, and they're big architects, especially of phase 2 now going to phase 3. They talk about the Crystal Crown, the Jackie and Yord book that Tessa Gratton is writing. I think
it's called the Crystal Crown.
The Crystal Crown.
That's a weird name.
I'm guessing that's something they need to get back from. Yeah. So Tessa Gratton talk about, is Jackie hating on Yord? It's her least favorite Padawan. I think they're both Padawans at this point. And Tessa Gratton wrote the book as the show was premiering. So she was adding, this happened. Let me add a little joke here. A joke about him steaming his robe is going to be on the book, or the reason he steams. So like you said before, since last time we talked about Celebration 2 years ago, and then this week, it's not just the panels. All these little things that they peppered in a couple of new information. It's some of the best stuff that's out there. So I really enjoyed that talk. And then I saw it this morning because I didn't get to stay up the whole night, so I didn't see everything. But Manny Jacinto was there. Unfortunately, he could feel the love that he was there. You can see that he was, of course, sad that the accolade was canceled, but all the support and all the love that he got from the fans while he was in that interview was nice to see.
Yeah, that sucked. Like, again, seeing him, he's such a beacon of happiness and he's very funny. But yeah, you could sense it. He was bummed out. And that sucks. I'm very satisfied with the story we got. I'm glad that it was like a full story. I still want more. I'm still holding out hope. We had that when at the end people were screaming season 2. So in some way, shape, or form, we hopefully will see him back.
As we were building to Celebration, I was holding out hope also. I was hopeful that we will get an announcement of some type of continuation to the story. Excuse me. Maybe not a season 2, maybe a new show that follows this. Maybe we'll do an hour and 30-minute TV movie to complete this story. Something to kind of finish up, because the support is there. It doesn't seem like we're heading that way. Maybe seeing the fan response yesterday, especially to him, kind of gets it going again. I don't know. hopefully we'll see how everything goes with Star Wars. Something we've talked about and we said at ad nauseum here that the streaming kind of universe is changing. No talk so far apart from Ahsoka season 2 and any new TV shows. I don't think we're getting any news about it apart from the animated shows. Like you said 20 times, Lucasfilm is a movie franchise. I think they're going to be focusing on movies going forward with everything that's been announced. Maybe a movie a year. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Acolyte. I'm sad but again, there's books, there's comics, maybe a TV show down the line, an animated show. We'll see.
Even Mando 4, Favreau was like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm focused on the movie, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see it happening. Mando season 4.
Mando literally carried the Disney Plus.
I'm on the mindset that I don't want to say that movies is more prestigious at television. It is, unfortunately, for a lot of people out there. Once you go to movies, it's gonna be difficult. Okay, now you're back on television. Same as the Rebels character. Now that they're live action, I know people wanted the continuation to Rebels to be animated. I don't think we're getting that in terms of a Rebels sequel in animation.
This is the Rebels sequels.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going back to. No. They'll show up maybe in a animated show as a cameo. But now that Mandalorian is going to be a movie, I don't see, okay, now we're going back to television for season 4. I don't see that. But the landscape changes pretty quickly, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I think
so.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. So this was incredibly cool and thoughtful, but at the same way, I found it kind of odd. They asked Manny Jacinto if he took anything from the set, and he says, no, for sure I couldn't take anything. And they presented him with the Stranger's helmet.
Yep.
Which, dude, it looks great there. Like, man, that's a Stranger.
But that's a great ad for that helmet.
It is. And that's the thing. I thought it was the actual prop from the show. And then, this is the first one. It hasn't released yet. It comes in September. Like, you just gave me a Black Series helmet.
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
I mean, it's pretty cool. But I thought, you took anything from the set? No. Here you go. I'm like, oh, crap, the helmet. Oh, no, it's just.
Wait, I want to go see something.
Oh, now you're pushing buttons?
That's a nice watch. That's a nice watch.
I don't.
That's a Rolex, my friend.
I can't zoom in on that.
No.
I mean, it's nice. He said, you give me money, I'll take. But dude, he looks so great. I didn't buy that. I tried to buy the helmet. It sold out extremely quick, and it doesn't come out till September. But watching him put it on, I'm like, man, that looks pretty sweet.
I think I pre-ordered it and then canceled it because, like, I just can't.
I'm salty that I tried to pre-order the Ren helmet. It was sold out in 2 minutes, and it's never been put back on the Disney store. I think if you go to Galaxy's Edge, it might be there. I haven't seen any reviews, no one with pictures. I think that's a scam. I think they never went on sale. They had 2 in Galaxy's Edge, and that was it. I keep checking every couple of weeks. It's not there.
Okay.
All right. So there was a panel with Adam Christopher. I didn't get a chance to meet him. Some of the other authors were there. I think Phil Stozak and Chris. The guy that wrote the Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire.
I didn't see anything about this panel.
Not a panel, sorry, an interview.
Oh, whoa.
So they woke out yesterday. Yeah. I just watched 2 minutes of Alan Christopher talking about Master of Evil. Well, basically, it was like, there have been 20 Darth Vader stories. You think everything has been told. This story hasn't been told. This time period here hasn't been told, so you're in for a treat. That's the only thing I cannot cut. So, Ote, did you get a chance to watch any other interviews or anything that I missed before we say bye to everyone out there and then start getting ready for
I watched everything. I watched the whole Zero Company.
Oh, the new
game.
Turn-based game.
That's a game that, like, me 15 years ago, 16 years ago would have been crazy about. Today I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, dude, the Daniel Logan and Tamura Morrison.
Tell me about it, because I posted about. I'm like, oh, I hope we get to see this, and then I missed it. I didn't know it was yesterday.
It was short and sweet. They came out to the celebration stage, did a whole New Zealand dance, and song. Tamora Morrison sang like twice, but I think it in many ways encapsulated what's great about Star Wars, because it was so much about them and their relationship and them being kind of like family. Tamora Morrison talked about meeting him for the first time in Attack of the Clones and realizing he did not have a father figure, and him actively choosing to be a father figure to him. And now, so many years later, they have a great friendship. Tamora Morrison's daughter came out, and she also has a relationship with Daniel Logan. She's like this little kid. And and they also talked about Daniel Logan's son. Like, again, it was all about like them being a found family, for lack of a better word, and it was very heartwarming.
All right, I'll see if I can pull it up later today and watch it. But great second day for Star Wars Celebration. We got one more day.
And sorry, Doc Sheehan came out, did the whole celebration stage thing, and he talked about like having doodles in his school textbooks and being like, yeah, someone out there has those. And like, imagine like your mom having your old high school textbooks and they have like Doc Sheehan drawings.
Yes. Oh man, you gotta
go check those textbooks.
Yeah, man, you never know. There's gold there. 30 years later, someone found an old Rembrandt, and now it costs $100 million. So maybe someone has a cool Doc Sheehan original out there. All right, Oti, day 3. Later tonight, we'll get to find out. I'll probably find out tomorrow. I'm not making it till 2:30 in the morning for the closing ceremonies.
Oh, where and when?
Where is it going to be next year? Any hopes? Any thoughts? Are we coming back to this hemisphere?
I'm betting either on Orlando or New York. I think it'll be East Coast, because last time was London, before that Anaheim, before that Chicago. So last time it was in the East Coast was in 2017. So I'm betting on somewhere in the East Coast.
Right. The only reason I'm a little hesitant for Orlando, which again, if it's Orlando, you'll see us there. We're gonna be there at least one day. Even if we can get a panel there to talk Star Wars, we'll do it. If we're just walking the floors, it'll be an experience. So I'll try. Hopefully it's there and I'm wrong, but the relationship between Disney and the Florida government is still a little bit frosty. So
then maybe New York.
Yeah.
I'll be living in Boston, so
you'll be fine. You'll be great if
it's
over
just
there.
A 3-hour train drive.
I'm gonna have to call my brother. Hey, I haven't seen you in a couple of years. I'm gonna be there in the summer of 2027.
No, but if it's in the East Coast, I will definitely do a very big effort to be there.
Yeah,
because I really want to go.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be in Europe or the east part of the world this time. I think it's coming back over here. I thought maybe somewhere in Latin America. I couldn't pinpoint where it might be. I know they like having. London has something that has to do with Star Wars close by, be a park or something. So Orlando or something Florida makes sense. But it can be up there. They did Chicago a couple of years ago. It might be up in the northeast coast. So we'll see.
We pitched it like 3 celebrations ago. Star Wars Celebration San Juan. Like
San Juan,
it would be awesome. Like people would have fun.
Dude,
you may get a power outage. You'll have fun.
There'll be some. Dude,
you'll be drunk the entire time.
I haven't been in Puerto Rico in a long time, since after my father died. I had to go and deal with selling the house and getting all our stuff moved out. This will get me back. I still have one of my brothers is there. My in-laws are there. I'll go back. It'll be an excuse. Oh, let's take the kids to Puerto Rico. They haven't been there.
Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry.
We're staying at the Sheraton at the Central Convention. It's like, why?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You just can tell your parent house, I gotta go do something. Why are you only packing Star Wars shirt? Oh, this is all I have. So don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So hopefully by this time tomorrow, we're gonna be talking about. Dude, can you imagine we gonna be a celebration in 2 years? Hopefully. We'll see if that's
Celebration Boston. Yeah.
Dude, we'll all be there. I got a place to stay in Boston if I need to. All right. So for everyone out there, thanks as always for joining us, Bog, Brandon, Dale, anyone else that was in the chat that we didn't get to it, or if you were in the just watching us didn't get to get on the chat, that's fine. Thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow again at 5. Stay safe, be safe, and remember.
Go with what your heart says.
Está bien chingona.
See you tomorrow.
Beijing.